I'm Emmanuel and welcome to my playthrough of The Legend of Drizzt. This is adventure number 2 and this should be the finale because I know that the very next tile on the pile will most likely be the tile we are looking for. So let's get right to it. It is now Bruenor's turn. He is adjacent to the water elemental. So let's go ahead and attack the water elemental. So he is using his notched axe and it does a +7 attack. And here he goes. And 2 + 7 is a miss. We're going to use the re-roll the die lucky hit ability. Flip this over. He gets a re-roll. And 17, that is much more like it. He does 1 damage, but we're going to remove a power token from here saying that once each time your hero hits an adjacent monster, you can remove 1 power strike token from this card. And if you do, the attack does 1 extra damage. So we'll remove this power token and the water elemental is gone. That is awesome. 2 more experience onto the experience pile. Let's see what we have as a treasure. And we get the Cat's Eye Headband. This circlet grants the ability to see in the dark. While this item is in play, your hero gains +2 to attack rolls against monsters that are not on his or her tile. Let's give this to Cadibri because she's the one who does ranged attacks. This will be awesome for her. Bruenor still gets to move. He just did his attack, now he gets to move. So he's going to move 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, right over here. And sure enough, here is the broken door we are looking for. Let's go to the adventure book and see what the instructions we have are for this. All right, here's the adventure book. Let's turn to adventure 2. And it says here, when a hero reveals the broken door tile, do the following. Instead of drawing a monster card for the tile, the hero's active player takes the Artemis Entreri villain card and places the Artemis Entreri figure on either mushroom patch on the start tile. As a villain, Artemis Entreri acts at the start of each player's villain phase. Place the Ancient Throne tile next to the closest unexplored edge of the broken door tile. Then each player draws a monster card and places the corresponding monster figure on any square of either the Ancient Throne or broken door tile. Place the crown token on either square of the throne depicted on the Ancient Throne tile, and a hero in any of the 6 squares adjacent to the throne squares can pick up the crown token at the end of his or her hero phase. Place the crown token on that hero's card. Victory: the heroes win the adventure when they defeat Artemis Entreri, and any hero has the crown token. I'll get that set up and let's get to it. Mithril Hall has been found, but years of neglect have taken their toll. The door has been smashed open and the stone tunnels are now home to the denizens of the Underdark. To make matters worse, Artemis Entreri has caught up to you. You must defeat the foes that surround you and recover the dwarves' ancestral crown. All right, let's start with Artemis Entreri. Here is the villain. He is a level 5 villain. He's a human assassin. Artemis never failed in a mission until he met the renegade drow and his companions. He's got an armor class of 15 and he's got 8 hit points. Artemis activates at the start of each villain phase, and if Artemis is adjacent to exactly one hero, he attacks the hero with a vampiric dagger. If Artemis is within 1 tile of a hero, he moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks the hero with a heavy saber. Otherwise, he moves 1 tile towards the closest hero with the fewest hit points remaining. Both attacks are +8 attacks. The dagger does 2 damage and Artemis heals 1 hit point when he hits with that. So we're going to put that, let's put that right over here. There's a nice space right here for it. And here is the miniature. He is there with his sword and his dagger. Really cool. And he starts off on any mushroom of the start tile. So let's start him off at the furthest edge of the start tile, which is right over here. Remember, the start tile goes this way because we rotated the map last episode. We also have to draw 2 monsters, and we can put the monster either on the broken door tile or on the Ancient Throne tile. Since this is Bruenor's turn, let's draw the first monster for him. This monster is a Hunting Drake, +8 that does 1 damage. So let's put the Hunting Drake right here next to Bruenor. And we'll put the card right over there. Remembering that he's got a brooch of shielding as well as a flask of oil. And the monster for Catti-brie is a Goblin Archer. Very appropriate. The Goblin Archer we will put right here at the back. Well, we're done with Bruenor's exploration phase. So we go right into the villain phase. This is the first time we have a villain. If you didn't place a tile, so that doesn't apply. If a villain is in play, activate the villain. Up at the card over there at the top, it says if he's adjacent exactly to one hero, he is not. So we're doing the otherwise. He moves one tile towards the closest hero with the fewest hit points, which is Catti-brie. And I always move these guys from mushroom patch to mushroom patch until they come adjacent to our characters. And now his monster gets to activate. If the hunting drake is within one tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks that hero with a rending bite. So let's put him right here next to Bruenor. Rending bite is a +8 attack. Let's see if he hits Bruenor. 4 + 8 is 12. He does not hit Bruenor. Now it is Catti-brie's turn. Well, she can attack with her bow. She can attack the drake because the drake is within 2 tiles of her hero. So she's going to attack the drake with a +6 attack, remembering that she's got +2 to hit because of her cat's eye headband. So she now she has +4 to hit because of her stance. So she's got a total of +12 to hit this drake. She only misses on a 1. And she rolled a 19. That is definitely a hit, and she does 1 damage, and the drake is gone. And we get a treasure card. And we get a brief rest. You take a moment to catch your breath. Play immediately. Your hero gains 1 hit point. Flip up one of your used powers or items. So she gets 1 hit point. And she doesn't have any flipped powers, but she does have a flipped item, which is her Mask of Disguise. Now she still has her move to do. She's got a movement speed of 6, so off she goes. Now this goblin will attack anybody within 2 spaces, 2 tiles, and Bruenor is 3 tiles away. So let's go ahead and move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she's too far away to activate. Now, during Catti-brie's turn, I forgot completely to do the encounter because she did not end her turn on an unexplored edge. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab the top card over here and burn it, and instead use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 experience points to avoid that encounter. Let's activate the assassin, and he is not within a tile, so he just moves 1 more tile this way. Let me put this over here. Temporarily, he's in a narrow passage. He will have a -4 to his armor class while he's in this narrow passage. Artemis and Terry only has an armor class of 11 right now. So it's Bruenor's turn. So let's go ahead and Bruenor will charge at Artemis and Terry. He's got 8 hit points, so let's go ahead and put 8 hit points on this card. Can we see it here? I'll put it next to his card. Yeah, Bruenor is going to charge. He's going to do a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he ends his movement right next to Enteri, and he also gets a penalty on his armor class for being on this tile. He is going to attack with his notched axe. That's the only thing that he has that he can attack with. So let's go for it. He has a +7 to hit. That doesn't count. If it falls out of the dice tray, it is not good. That's my house rule. He rolls, that is a 15. Nope, that is a cocked die. That is a 6. 6 + 7 is 13. So 13 hits the armor class because of the -4. So he does 1 damage, and we're taking off a power token to do a 2nd damage. So he does 2 damage on Artemis. Oh, I forgot to activate this goblin on Catti-brie's turn. He would have moved forward 1 space. Second correction, and this is after Bruenor's turn. Before the villain was to activate, we were supposed to have an encounter. We no longer have enough experience to avoid an encounter, so I am doing this after I had played the round. So let's go look at what he gets. Overrun, monsters charge from all directions. Each hero takes damage equal to the number of monsters he or she controls. Well, they each control one because technically speaking, Artemis is placed under Bruenor's control, and we have the Goblin Archer under Cadibri, so they both take 1 damage. And so this guy activates. He is adjacent to exactly 1 hero. If Artemis is adjacent to exactly 1 hero, he does an attack with a vampiric dagger. It's a +8 attack that does 2 damage. That is a natural 20. That is a hit. However, the Brooch of Shielding will come into effect, and he will take 1 less damage. So he takes 1 damage, but Artemis heals 1 damage. And that is that. There is no other monster. So now it goes over to Cadibri's turn. Now, the Goblin Archer does 2 damage, and this guy does a possibility of 2 damage as well, and he heals. So I think what Cadibri is going to do, she's going to move over here first to be more than 2 tiles away from this guy, and she's going to attack Artemis. Now, she has a +2 because of this and +4 because of her stance. In fact, she's going to change her stance and change it to this stance over here, which gives her a +1 damage. And she's going to do her clustered shot. Clustered shot does a minimum of 1 damage, and while on this token, your attacks deal an additional damage on a hit. So she'll do 3 damage if she hits and only 1 damage if she misses. She has a 6 + 2 is a +8 on this attack, and Artemis has a -4 on his armor class, so let's see what she rolls. And she rolls a 1. 1 + 6 + 2 is 9, and that is a miss. So she does 1 damage to Artemis nonetheless, and this card is flipped over. And let's put the headband right here, since this is an empty spot. Now, after Artemis's turn over here, we forgot to do another encounter card. So let's have a look at the encounter card. And we have lost. What you thought was a shortcut takes you in the wrong direction. Without looking at it, take the bottom tile from the dungeon stack and place it on top. That is a lucky break because it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get tiles from the dungeon stack anymore. I'll do it anyways. Here we go. Done. But we had to do an event, and now we go back to where we were in the video. And then after that, Artemis activates. He is going to attack Bruenor with the dagger, and he rolls a 2. 2 + 8 is 10. Even with the -4 armor class, that is not enough to hit Bruenor. Bruenor has a 12 armor class with the -4, so that is a miss, thankfully. Next, the Goblin Archer activates. She is 3 tiles away, so he moves 1 more tile. The next round, he will be able to attack her. Now it's Bruenor's turn. Bruenor, he is going to use his notched axe again. He's got +7. 11 + 7 is 18. That is a hit. He's going to take the last power token on this card and flip it. Let's put the flask of oil over here. And he does 2 damage to Enteri. So he goes from 6 damage down to 4. And I forgot to do another encounter card. So let's go ahead and do an encounter card. And we have Volcanic Explosion. Each hero on a volcanic vent takes 2 damage. Nobody's on a volcanic vent. Nothing happens. That is lucky. And Terry riposts, does an attack as well. And he rolls a 4. And a 4 + 8 is 12. and 12 with a -4 armor class. That is a 12, but let's not forget he's got a +2 armor class over here. So he misses with his dagger attack. All right, I'm back. I just did a whole bunch of edits. You'll see some splicing and some things moving around where I've been forgetting to do the encounter cards. At the beginning of the villain phase, if you didn't put a tile during the exploration phase, you have to draw a card. And I've been forgetting that. So all of the hit points are accurate now. Everything is accurate. So now it is Caddy Bree's turn. Caddy Bree will not be attacking the Goblin Archer because she's going to be using her Mask of Disguise so that he doesn't see her. And so Bruenor is going to be too far away from her, and so he's going to be activating by moving over one space. So let's go right ahead. She's going to be attacking Artemis, and she does have her stance that does an extra damage. She's got +6 over here with her attack and a +2 with the cat's eye. So let's see what she rolls. She rolls a 16. That is a hit, and she will do 2 damage to Artemis. Next, she will, is she going to do any movement? She's not going to do any movement, and that would end her turn. So first things first is we got to draw an encounter card. And we only have 2 experience up here, so we can't avoid this. This is unavoidable. What do we get? Special attack, Spell Web. A snare of webs halts Lolth's foes. Attack each hero on your tile. And you get a +8 attack to be immobilized. That's not the end of the world. That is awesome. So there's only Caddy Bree on her tile. And 10 + 8 does hit her, so she is immobilized and cannot move on her next turn. Artemis now activates. He is attacking Bruenor with his vampiric dagger. And he rolls an 11. 11 + 8 is a 19. And that is more than enough to hit Bruenor. So he will do 2 damage to Bruenor, which knocks Bruenor out. And he heals 1 hit point. The Goblin Archer activates as well. Doesn't see Caddy Bree because of her Mask of Disguise. So let's flip this over. Let's flip this over here. And let's bring him over to here. And that is the end of Caddy Bree's turn. Now we go over to Bruenor. He needs to use a healing surge, and so the first of our 2 healing surges is used, and his surge has a value of 5, so he gets 5 hit points, and he is standing right back up. And let's go, and we're going to start with Bruenor. He is going to be attacking Artemis. Let's see, can he do anything? He doesn't have any special abilities other than this flask of oil, which does 1 damage, but it's only a +4. So let's go ahead and bash Artemis. 4 is what he rolled. 4 + 7 is 11. Artemis has an armor class of 15 - 4 is 11. That is just hit, so he does 1 damage to Artemis. I'm thinking, should he move away? You know what? He's going to move away. He is going to go move right next to this Goblin Archer. As the last movement of his turn, he loses that penalty. And he's going to end his turn right there. Next, we got to do an encounter. Here is the encounter card. And it says, Quickling Ambush. A fast-moving Quickling strikes and disappears into the caverns. Attack your hero. It does 2 damage, a minimum of 1 damage, and it is a +8 hit. So we rolled 14 + 8 is a 20. Bruenor has an armor class of 18. He takes 2 damage, and he is now down to 3. Now, our friend over here is going to attack. It says over here, if Artemis is adjacent to exactly 1 hero, he is not. If he is within 1 tile of a hero, he is going to attack that hero with a saber. So he is going to be attacking, Caddy Bree with his saber. And it's a +8 attack, but it's not vampiric. So maybe I should have been backing up like this all the time instead, so that he avoids the use of the vampire dagger. But I didn't think of it, so it is what it is. So let's see what he does. He rolls a 12 plus 8. That is a 20. He does hit Caddy Bree, and he does 1 damage to her with his saber. Now it is Caddy Bree's turn. She is immobilized. She can't move. And so what she is going to do, and the only thing she can do, she's going to use the Casadilla power, and her attacks do +1 on a hit. So she may be able to attack and defeat Artemis. So she's got a total of +8 because, no, this does not apply because it only applies to monsters that are not on her tile. So she only has a +6 to hit Artemis. Artemis has an armor class of 15. Let's see what she gets. She rolled 7 plus 6 is 13. That is not enough. And she misses Artemis. She can't move. She is done. The Goblin Archer does nothing because he is adjacent to a hero, so he cowers in fear and does nothing. That's why I wanted Bruenor to move next to him. And now it is Bruenor's turn. Bruenor will now move next to Artemis and attack. He rolls a 15. That is a hit. He does 1 damage. Let's remember that Caddy Bree is no longer immobilized. He does 1 damage. We're almost there. It is a close one. We're almost there, but we do get an encounter before the activation of the villain. And we get Mark of Lolth. We know what that is. He takes a damage. It seems that he's the only one who is cursed. And now the villain attacks. Now he is next to 2 heroes. If Artemis is adjacent to exactly 1 hero, he is not. If he is within a tile, well, he's going to attack a hero. It's Bruenor's turn, so he's attacking Bruenor with his saber. 9 plus 8 is 17. Bruenor has an armor class of 18. That is a miss. And now it is Caddy Bree's turn. She is going to move next to this goblin, and she is going to attack Artemis. This time, the +2 for the cat's eye does apply. She is no longer on his tile, so she's going to change her stance to give her a +4, since she only needs to do 1 damage. Let's see what she does. 12 plus 6 is 18, +4 +2. That is a hit, and Artemis falls dead, and he is gone. Next, we get an encounter. This is going to be a close one. And the encounter is the Mark of Lolth. She is cursed, and both of these guys now take 1 damage. They're down to 1 hit point each. That is really, really close. Bruenor is next. Now, she stayed purposely next to this Goblin Archer so he doesn't activate. So Bruenor is going to move 1 space over here and attack the Goblin Archer. And he gets a 6 plus 7 is 13, and 13 is enough to kill the Goblin Archer. That Goblin Archer is dead. Now, I forgot to give a treasure for Artemis. And the treasure here is a Wand of Magic Missiles. So we'll just give this wand to Bruenor because he doesn't have any ranged items. And now the item for defeating the goblin is a Scrimshaw Charm. It allows you to re-roll the die. So let's give this to Caddy Bree. Yeah, you know what? Let's give this to Bruenor. Bruenor finished his turn. He's got no monsters to activate, but we still have an encounter to do. And it is the Curse of Lolth. They both take 1 damage. Bruenor is out. Caddy Bree is out. Things look hopeless, but I think we're going to make it. It is Caddy Bree's turn. First things first, she needs to use a healing surge. She uses the last healing surge, and she heals 3 damage, and she's back up on her feet. And then she does 2 movement actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And she picks up the crown, and I believe that is victory. Let's look at what the book says. If the heroes win the adventure when they defeat Artemis, and any hero has the crown token, we have won. And that is that. That was like a skin of the teeth adventure. We went right down to the wire. If she couldn't have made it to pick up the crown, and he needed to stand up and heal, and he couldn't, that would have been game over. We would have lost the game. So this was a close one. Well, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click on my logo to subscribe. And here is a video that might be of interest to you, as well as a playlist of other playlists on my channel. Until next time, thanks for watching.